In the last lecture, we have seen some equations. Now let us move forward. 8, that is area equations. These are all important area equations. For square, you know already area is L square. Here is square and both the sides are L, so L square. For rectangle, area is length into breadth, L into B. Here is length and breadth. For triangle, area is 1 by 2 base into height. Here is the triangle, this is the base and this is the height. So 1/2 B into H is the area equation. For circle, here is a circle of radius R. So the area of circle is A is equal to pi R square. For trapezoid, area is 1 by 2 A plus B into H. Here is a trapezoid. You can see these two sides are parallel. That is known as trapezoid. And this side is A, this side is B, and the distance between these two sides, parallel sides, is H. So the area becomes 1 by 2 A plus B into H. Now parallelogram, here is a parallelogram. This is known as parallelogram. These two sides are parallel as well as these two sides are also parallel. Here the area will be A is equal to B into H. This is B and H is the distance between two parallel sides. For ellipse, A is equal to pi AB. Area is pi AB. First of all, see this is ellipse. This axis is known as major axis and this axis is known as minor axis. Now here this half length of the major axis is known as semi-major axis and this half length of the minor axis is known as semi-minor axis. So this A is the length of semi-major axis and this B is length of semi-minor axis. So here the area A is equal to pi into semi-major axis into semi-minor axis. Now let us see surface area. Surface area of sphere will be A is equal to 4 pi r square, where r is the radius of the sphere. Surface area of cylinder. Now cylinder has two circular sides and one curved surface. So for two circular sides the area will be 2 pi r square and for the curved side it will be 2 pi rh. So area becomes 2 pi r square plus 2 pi rh. Surface area of cube. Cube has 6 square sides. So the area will be obviously 6L square. Then surface area of cone. Now cone has one base, that is a circular base, and so the area will be pi r square. And for this curved conical surface, the area will be pi r L, where L is this side, and from this right angle triangle we can say that L will be equal to under root of r square plus s square. Here r is the radius and h is the height. So that way the area becomes A is equal to pi r square plus pi r L. Now ninth is volume equations. For cube, volume will be V is equal to L cube or A cube. Here is a cube and A is the side, so we can write A cube or also we can write L cube. For a rectangular slab, the volume equation is L into B into H, where L is the length, B is the breadth or say width and H is the height. For a sphere, volume V is equal to 4 by 3 pi r cube. Here is a sphere and this is the radius r. For a cylinder, volume V is equal to pi r square h. Here is a cylinder having radius r and the height is h. For a cone, volume V is equal to 1 by 3 pi r square h, where h is the height of the cone and r is the radius. Now 10th is units of angle. 1 degree is 60 minute. This symbol of dash is for minute and 1 minute is 60 second. This double dash represents second. So degree is made out of 60 minute and 1 minute is made out of 60 second. So 1 degree is 3600 second. Obviously from that only you can find out 1 second is equal to 0.000278 degree. Mind well, here this minute and second are not for time. We are talking about angles here. But in the clock you might have seen that when the second hand completes one turn, it becomes 60 second. At that time, 1 minute is passed. So 60 second is 1 minute. And when the minute hand completes one turn, that means 60 minute, it becomes 1 hour. But here 60 minute for us is 1 degree. As I said, this is all about angle and not about time. Now let us understand the relation between degree and radian. 1 degree is pi by 180 radian. Pi is 3.14, so solving that we will get 0.01744 radian. That way 1 minute can be written as pi by 180 divided by 60 radian. That means it will be 0.00029 radian. And the same way 1 second will be pi by 180 divided by 3600 radian. So solving this we will get 4.846 into 10 raised to minus 6 radian. This value is important and you have to remember this. 1 second is 4.846 into 10 raised to minus 6 radian, or in short you can say 4.85 into 10 raised to minus 6 radian. Now further, as we have written here that 1 degree is pi by 180 radian, so 1 radian becomes 180 by pi degree, and 180 by pi means 180 by 3.14, so it gives us 57.32 degree. This is also one important value we need to remember, that is 1 radian is 57.32 degree. For 57.32 degree, radian is 1. Now 11th is conversion of degree to radian. In physics equation, the angle is kept in form of radian. You know the unit of plane angle is radian, not degree. So in physics equations, we have to put angle in radian. So here is the equation to convert any degree into radian. See, theta into degree multiplied by pi by 180 gives you theta into radian. So whenever angle is given in degree, you have to just multiply it by pi by 180, so you will get the angle in radian. And obviously vice versa, if the angle is given in radian, then you have to multiply it by 180 by pi, so you will get the angle in degree. Here we will convert degree to radian. So first of all let us see 30 degree. 30 degree multiplied by pi by 180, that becomes pi by 6 radian. 45 degree multiplied by pi by 180 becomes pi by 4 radian. 60 degree multiplied by pi by 180 becomes pi by 3 radian. 90 degree multiplied by pi by 180 gives pi by 2 radian. 180 degree multiplied by pi by 180 gives pi radian. 270 degree multiplied by pi by 180 gives 3 pi by 2 radian, and 360 degree multiplied by pi by 180 gives us 2 pi radian. Here we have taken only some standard angles, but you can convert any angle into radian. Again remember these values. 30 degree is pi by 6 radian, 45 degree is pi by 4 radian, 60 degree is pi by 3 radian, 90 degree is pi by 2 radian, 180 degree is pi radian, 270 degree is 3 pi by 2 radian, and 360 degree is 2 pi radian. These are all the important angles you should remember in radian. Now let us see a wonderful and very important topic, that is basic trigonometry. In physics, you will not find any lesson, any chapter without the use of trigonometry. In every chapter, in one way or another, trigonometry is used. So that way, it is very important topic. Pay your proper attention here. Here is a right angle triangle and here is angle theta. So this becomes opposite side of the angle theta. So it is known as opposite side, in short OS, and this is the adjacent side of theta. So it is known as adjacent side, in short AS, and obviously this is hypotenuse. Here adjacent side is denoted by x and opposite side is denoted by y and hypotenuse is denoted by r. Now first of all, Pythagoras law. Obviously this is hypotenuse. So as per Pythagoras law, it will be r square is equal to x square plus y square. So r can be written as under root of x square plus y square. Then sin theta. Sin theta is opposite side upon hypotenuse. So here is opposite side y upon hypotenuse r. So it is sin theta is equal to y upon r. But again r is under root of x square plus y square. So you can write sin theta is equal to y upon under root of x square plus y square. Then cos theta is adjacent side upon hypotenuse. Now here is adjacent side and this is hypotenuse. So it is x upon r. So cos theta is x upon r. Again r can be written as under root of x square plus y square. So equation becomes cos theta is equal to x upon under root of x square plus y square. Then tan theta is sin theta upon cos theta. So tan theta becomes opposite side upon adjacent side, but opposite side is y upon adjacent side is x. So tan theta is equal to y upon x. Also, you know that cosec theta is 1 upon sin theta, sec theta is 1 upon cos theta, and cot theta is 1 upon tan theta. Now, this is something very important. All STC positivity. This is about which function will be positive in which quadrant. Look here. This is Cartesian coordinate system. This is angle 0, 90 degree, 180 degree, 270 degree and 370 degree back. So you know that this is known as first quadrant, this is known as second quadrant, this is third quadrant and this one is fourth quadrant. So all STC means in the first quadrant all the trigonometric functions are positive. That means sin theta, cos theta, tan theta all are positive in first quadrant. In second quadrant there is S is for sin here. So in second quadrant sin theta is positive. Obviously cos and tan will be then negative. In third quadrant tan theta is positive. So sin and cos will be negative. In fourth quadrant cos is positive. So sin and tan will be negative. So that's why it is all STC. So we have written all STC positivity. Here is the chart showing all the positive and negative functions. These are quadrants 1, 2, 3, 4 and these are all the functions sin theta, cos theta and tan theta. In the first quadrant sin theta, cos theta, tan theta all are positive. In the second quadrant sin theta is positive, cos and tan are negative. In third quadrant sin and cos are negative, tan is positive, and in fourth quadrant sin is negative, cos is positive and tan is again negative. Obviously where sin is positive cosec will also be positive, and when cos is positive sec will also be positive. When tan is positive cot will also be positive. Now let us see some important result for the trigonometric functions like sin theta, cos theta and tan theta. You can see this is Cartesian coordinate system. Here is 0 degree, 90 degree means pi by 2, 180 degree means pi, 270 degree means 3 pi by 2 and 360 degree means 2 pi. So this becomes first quadrant, this is second quadrant, this is third quadrant, and this is fourth quadrant. We know that in first quadrant all the functions are positive. In second quadrant sine function is positive, in third quadrant tan is positive, in fourth quadrant cos is positive. Now see these angles written here in the function. All are 90 minus theta. When we write 90 minus theta means 90 minus something. So that angle belongs to first quadrant. That means all of these functions are right now in first quadrant. Now look this angle 90 plus theta or 180 minus theta. When we write 90 plus something or 180 minus something, that both are in second quadrant. So you can see all the functions are having 90 plus theta or 180 minus theta angle. That means all of these functions are right now in second quadrant. Then here is 180 plus theta and 270 minus theta. Now 180 plus some angle or 270 minus some angle both belongs to third quadrant. So you can see all of these functions are right now in third quadrant. Then here is 270 plus theta or 360 minus theta. So 270 plus something or 360 minus something both are in fourth quadrant. And here all the functions are having the same angle 270 plus theta or 360 minus theta. That means here all of these functions are in fourth quadrant. So here in this chart all the three functions sin theta, cos theta and tan theta are shown with their angle and results in their respective quadrants. Now let us see all the results. Sin 90 minus theta is equal to cos theta, cos 90 minus theta is equal to sin theta, tan 90 minus theta is equal to cot theta. Sin 90 plus theta is cos theta, sin 180 minus theta is sin theta. Cos 90 plus theta is minus sin theta, cos 180 minus theta is minus cos theta. Tan 90 plus theta is minus cot theta, tan 180 minus theta is minus tan theta. Sin 180 plus theta is minus sin theta, sin 270 minus theta is minus cos theta, cos 180 plus theta is minus cos theta, cos 270 minus theta is minus sin theta, tan 180 plus theta is tan theta, and tan 270 minus theta is cot theta. Sin 270 plus theta is minus cos theta, sin 360 minus theta is minus sin theta, cos 270 plus theta is sin theta, cos 360 minus theta is cos theta. Tan 270 plus theta is minus cot theta, and tan 360 minus theta is minus tan theta. All of these equations are very important and you have to remember all of them. At the first sight it looks very difficult to remember, so I give you a simple method to remember this. First of all, you have to remember two things. That in any function, if there is 90 minus theta or 90 plus theta or 270 minus theta or 270 plus theta, then that function will be changed. Means sin theta will become cos theta will become sin theta, tan theta will become cot theta. But if there is 180 minus theta or 180 plus theta, or otherwise there is 360 minus theta, then the function will remain the same. Means sin will remain sin, cos will remain cos, and tan will remain tan. Another important thing, that because in first quadrant all the functions are positive, that's why the answer of sin or cos or tan will be always positive. You can see all of these answers are positive. In second quadrant only sin is positive. So you can see here that the answer of sin is positive, but the answer of cos and answer of tan is negative. In third quadrant tan is positive. So you can see the answer of sin is negative, answer of cos is also negative, but answer of tan is positive. and in fourth quadrant cos is positive. So you can see here that answer of sine is negative, answer of cos is positive, but again answer of tan is negative. Now using both of this information you can check any of the equation. Let us see this. Here this is cos 90 minus theta. So when it is 90 minus theta, obviously it is first quadrant and it is a cos function. So the answer of cos function will be positive and it will be converted to sin theta. So here it is sin theta. Let us check this. This is tan 90 plus theta. When you say 90 plus theta, so it is second quadrant. In second quadrant, the answer of sine is positive but tan is negative. So here the answer of tan will be negative, and because it is 90, obviously tan will be converted into cot. So here it is minus cot theta. Let us check this one. Here it is sine 360 minus theta. So obviously it is fourth quadrant. In fourth quadrant cos is positive but sine is negative. So here we have to take minus sign, and because this is 360, so sine will remain sine only, so it is minus sin theta. Again let us see this. Tan 180 minus theta. Now when we say 180 minus theta, so obviously it is second quadrant where tan will be negative. That's why the answer will start from negative, and it is 180, so tan will remain tan only, so it is minus tan theta. Let us see this one. Cos 270 plus theta. Now 270 plus theta, that means it is fourth quadrant. In fourth quadrant cos is positive, so the answer of this term will be positive. But here it is 270, so cos will be converted into sine, so it is plus sin theta. Likewise, you can check all of these equations. If you remember the method, then you need not to remember all of these values. Now let us see T ratio for standard angles between 0 to 360. T ratio. T ratio is a short abbreviation for trigonometric ratio. That means it is about the values of sin theta, cos theta and tan theta functions. So here are sin theta, cos theta and tan theta functions. Here is the angle in degree. These are all standard angles in degree, and here is all angle in radian, you can see. You know, to convert any angle from degree to radian, you have to multiply it by pi by 180. So here all of these standard angles are already converted into radian. You can see 0 degree is 0 radian, 30 degree is pi by 6 radian, 45 degree is pi by 4 radian, 60 degree is pi by 3 radian, 90 degree is pi by 2 radian, 120 degree is 2 pi by 3 radian, 135 degree is 3 pi by 4 radian, 150 degree is 5 pi by 6 radian, 180 degree is pi radian, 270 degrees 3 pi by 2 radian, and 360 degrees 2 pi radian. Now let us see the values of sin theta, cos theta and tan theta for all of these angles. Out of all of these angles, you already know these values. Sin 0 is 0, sin 30 is 1 by 2, sin 45 is 1 by root 2, sin 60 is root 3 by 2 and sin 90 is 1. In cos function, you have to put the inverse order of these values. Means cos 0 is 1, cos 30 is root 3 by 2, cos 45 is 1 by root 2, cos 60 is 1 by 2, cos 90 is 0. And then for tan, obviously sin upon cos is 10, so 0 upon 1 will be 0, 1 by 2 upon root 3 by 2 will be 1 by root 3, 1 by root 2 by 1 by root 2 is 1, root 3 by 2 by 1 by 2 is root 3, and 1 by 0, it is not defined exactly, but we can say it is infinite. Then for sin 120, this is root 3 by 2. Sine 135 is 1 by root 2. Sine 150 is 1 by 2. Sine 180 is 0. Sine 270 is minus 1 and sine 360 is 0. Cos 120 is minus 1 by 2. Cos 135 is minus 1 by root 2. Cos 150 is minus root 3 by 2. Cos 180 is minus 1. Cos 270 is 0 and cos 360 is 1. Tan 120 is minus root 3. Tan 135 is minus 1. Tan 150 is minus 1 by root 3. Tan 180 is 0. Tan 270 is minus infinite. And finally, tan 360 is 0. Here, you already know the values of sin theta, cos theta and tan theta for the first quadrant, means up to 90. Now let me give you some clue how to remember the values of second quadrant, that means from 90 degree to 180 degree, after 90 degree to 180 degree. Let us see. Here first you must remember that in second quadrant sine is positive. That's why you can see all of these values are positive. And cos in second quadrant is negative. That's why this all values are negative. And tan is also negative. That's why all of these values of tan is negative. Now for magnitudes you can remember one clue. The magnitudes of sin theta, cos theta and tan theta are same for 60 and 120. You can see here, this is root 3 by 2, this is root 3 by 2, this is 1 by 2, here is magnitude 1 by 2, this is root 3, magnitude root 3. The same way, magnitude of 45 and 135 is same. 1 by root 2 here, 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2 here, magnitude 1 by root 2, 1 magnitude is 1. And the magnitude of 30 and 150 degree is same. You can see here is 1 by 2, this is also 1 by 2, this is root 3 by 2, here also the magnitude is root 3 by 2, here is 1 by root 3, so magnitude here also is 1 by root 3. And finally, the magnitude of 0 and 180 is also same. Here it is 0, so here also 0, here it is 1, so here magnitude is 1, this is 0, so here also it is 0. Now, one more clue is that the magnitude of every function for the opposite angles are always same. Means, for example, if we discuss about 0 degree, then the opposite angle of 0 degree is 180 degree. Because 0 degree is taken in positive x direction and 180 degree is taken in negative x direction. So they are opposite angles I am saying. So the magnitude of opposite angles for all the functions are same I am saying. Let us see. For sine 0 it is 0. For sine 180 also it is 0. Cos 0 is 1. Cos 180 is minus 1. I said magnitude is same, so here the magnitude is 1. Tan 0 is 0 and tan 180 is also 0. Then opposite of 90 is 270 degree. 90 is taken in positive y direction and 270 is taken in negative y direction. So let us see the value. Sin 90 is 1, sin 270 is minus 1, so magnitude is 1. Now cos 90 is 0, the same way cos 270 is also 0. Tan 90 is infinite and tan 270 is minus infinite. So magnitude wise it is again infinite. Here we can also discuss the positive and negative sign of the value of sin theta, cos theta and tan theta, particularly for 180 degree and 270 degree. See, 180 degree is between second quadrant and third quadrant. And in second and third both quadrants, cos function is negative. That's why cos 180 is minus 1. The same way 270 degree is between third quadrant and fourth quadrant, and in third and fourth both of the quadrants sine is negative. That's why sine 270 is minus 1. So obviously the ratio of sine and cos for 270 degree will be minus 1 upon 0, that means minus infinite. The values of all the functions for 360 degree will be exactly same as 0 degree, because the point of 0 degree and 360 degree are just same. So you can see sine 0 and sine 360 both are 0, cos 0 and cos 360 both are 1, tan 0 and tan 360 both are 0.